Lego Smart Play, gimmick or revolutionary? Cool technology or the death of Lego? Let's review. First, I want to make two things clear. A, I'm not as against the Lego Smart Play as some other people seem to be. B, I do think Lego made some mistakes. First, let's talk about what Lego Smart Play is. Lego Smart Play is a system made up of three pieces: a smart brick, smart tags, and smart minifigures. The smart brick is packed with sensors that tell it how to react in combination with the smart tags and smart minifigures. If you combine it with a plane tag, it'll make plane sounds. If you combine it with a duck tag, it'll make duck sounds. Motion sensors will allow it to make additional sounds. Adding a smart minifig tells the smart brick who's nearby and how they should react. They're calling this screen-free play, saying that you won't need a phone or any other connected device to make them work, only that in the future there would be an app to allow you to update the bricks. Here's some of the negative things people are saying about Smart Play. Some of it's valid, and some of it's just a little silly. First of all, they're expensive, and I do not disagree. The cheapest set available right now is $70, and it only comes with 2 minifigures, and it's 473 pieces. That's pretty high. The brick is a synthesizer. It replicates the sounds it can to the best of its ability, but it doesn't have sound files, so it can't do quotes or music. This is also technology that's getting added to bricks, technology that could go wrong. We won't know until the future when it gets used out in the real world, but is this something we're going to have to now troubleshoot when the sounds and things aren't working the way that we think they should be? Who is Smart Play for? A lot of people online will say, adults who are upset about it, it's not meant for you. It's meant for kids. But the price would indicate that it's kind of expensive for a kid's toy, and kids already make a lot of these sounds themselves. But then adults would have probably preferred real sounds and sound files rather than a synthesizer. I also hear the argument about depreciation and how a Smart Play brick will not hold its value over the long term like regular pieces would. And I sort of get it, but that's not Lego's responsibility. They don't care that your set isn't going to be as valuable later than it is when you first get it. They're going to expect you to open it, build it, and play with it. So that's not something that they're really worried about. That does bring up the question of the Smart Play bricks and e-waste. You now have a brick that has a battery in it and other metals in it that is something that you're probably not going to want to just throw away. How long are these bricks going to last? And what's going to happen to them when they no longer hold a charge anymore? Is somebody going to find a way to be able to replace the batteries on them on their own? After a few years, will Lego offer a way to replace bricks that no longer hold a charge? This is something that we'll probably have to think about going forward. One other downside I've heard is that these bricks only last about 40 minutes, and then they take a while to charge back up. That's not something I want to have to worry about if my kid is playing with a toy and the sound stopped working and now we've got to sit and have it charge up. Or when was the last time it got charged between the times they were playing with it, and just make sure one's sitting on the charging dock at all times. I don't know that I like that idea either. I've also heard about it ruining kids' imaginative play. Come on. Kids will play along with it making sounds just fine. There have been toys for ages that make sounds, and kids still use their imagination. Vehicles that make sound effects, dolls and action figures that talk. I think there's a lot of legitimate criticism about these Smart Play bricks, but this one seems like a stretch. Will kids make less noise themselves with a toy that's already making sounds? Maybe. Is it going to ruin their imagination? I don't think so. Here's some of the positives of Smart Play, and admittedly the list is short. It's really cool technology. The brick can do a lot of cool things on top of the sounds. They can tell how far apart they are from each other, or if one of them is facing each other. The brick is packed full of sensors that really could do a lot of very interesting things in the future. And I think this opens the door to allow people to create their own uses for the Smart Play bricks, like making a game using them, or bringing their own creations to life. Which brings me to where I think Lego made the biggest mistake with Smart Play. Star Wars was a mistake. The Star Wars sets are already expensive, and any Star Wars fan is going to want the Smart Play brick to play sound effects and sounds and quotes and music directly from Star Wars, which this brick does not do. They played a video during the reveal of two kids playing with the X-Wing and the TIE Fighter. And during that video, you had different characters doing quotes, you had sound effects, and you had music, none of which come with the Smart Brick, with the exception of a very basic Imperial March. And believe me, I get it. Star Wars is exciting. You have a TIE Fighter and an X-Wing that can be dogfighting, and the bricks will register if you're pointing at one another and take damage. That's really cool. But that's the only part of it that really stood out. I think from a playing standpoint, they should have kept it a little bit more generic, like in a city theme, where it could be on planes, cars, trucks. That would be an area where I think a synthesizer making generic sounds would have been more acceptable and not annoying fans of Star Wars. Ultimately, I think I'm going to pass on these for now. They're too expensive, and the Star Wars integration doesn't do anything for me. But I'll be keeping an eye on the sets in the future and see where the technology goes from here. That's my quick opinion on the LEGO Smart Play system. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I do LEGO reviews, shorts, and live streams. I hope to see you there.